Can you believe nobody has a single list of the film and shows for Phase 4 in one list? Like, they have them separated. And it's pissed me off. So we're going to have to go back and forth on these. Because I want us to have a clear idea of what came out when, in what order, and how I feel about Phase 4 overall. Because I feel like this is kind of the end of Phase 4. And I'm going to kind of be going back and forth on these. The first release was WandaVision, released on January 15th. Then The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, released on March 19th. Loki, released on June 9th. 2021 for all these, by the way. Black Widow, released on July 9th. What If, released on August 11th. Shang-Chi, released on September 3rd. Then followed up by The Eternals on November 5th. Hawkeye was released on November 24th, followed by Spider-Man No Way Home on December 17th. Moon Knight, released on March 30th, followed by Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness on May 6th. Followed by Ms. Marvel on June 8th, followed by Thor Love and Thunder on July 8th. Then She-Hulk Attorney at Law on August 18th, and we wrapped the whole thing up with Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I skipped over Werewolf by Night, yeah. Werewolf by Night's not listed on here. And then Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So, Phase 4. I think one word to describe Phase 4 would be random.
COVID.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's probably better.
That's the word I can
think
of.
That's a better. I guess Phase 4 should at best be compared to Phase 1. Right. Now, granted, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 properties in Phase 4, which was over the course of 2 years. 16 things came out.
Sorry.
Oh, and I'm Groot's not even on here.
Oh, that was what? End of summer?
Yeah. I think I Am Groot and then Werewolf by Night. So it's like She-Hulk, I Am Groot, Werewolf by Night, and then Black Panther Wakanda Forever. You know, the first phase had 5, I think, or 6. So, like, you know, it really is apples to oranges. But, like, you know, that felt very specific. We're setting up the Avengers. The goal of this is to get to the Avengers, right? We have all these characters. And, like, there's going to be little things that link each one. You know, the Tesseract, you know, the Shield, you know, whatever. Like, all these things are going to kind of intermix, right? And then we get to Avengers and it all comes together. This, honestly, short of Val, that is the only thing that I'm looking at that I can see that really tied into anything between these.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you could say the Black Widow tied in to Hawkeye, but again, that's because of Val.
Yeah. You
know, and then Val had an impact on Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Val is in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Spider-Man No Way Home kind of impacted Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But, like, not really. I mean, it was just like a one line of dialogue, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, What If obviously didn't matter. Spider-Man kind of impacted Ms. Marvel because it was that same character from the thing. This is the first time I feel like they didn't have a plan. Or if they did have a plan, it was thrown out when they went on to COVID and stuff. Like, I feel like Phase 5 and 6, I'm hoping, has a much cleaner idea of what it's going for.
Yeah.
But I mean, ending with Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I don't have any more understanding
of where this is going.
Yeah. I mean, sure, you could argue multiverse. You could argue that. And I believe that, sure. But that's in 3 of the projects.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I guess so that people don't get mad, WandaVision does tie into Multiverse of Madness, so there is a tie there. But for our first era with the Disney Plus shows, it felt more like, as opposed to having all of these webs going together, it felt like this will play off here. This will play off here. This will play off here. Like, it felt like one affected one as opposed to one affecting all.
Yeah.
Right? Like, WandaVision will wrap up in Multiverse of Madness. Falcon and Winter Soldier Black Widow will play off in Falcon and Winter Soldier and in Hawkeye and in Black Panther to a degree. You know, I don't even know if I would say Moon Knight played off anywhere. You know, so it felt like more like these things were having like one-to-one impact, and like there wasn't really a huge overarching thought. I mean, that we definitely didn't wrap this together at the end. And I mean, honestly, it feels like Phase 4 shouldn't even be called Phase 4. Like right now, the phases should just no longer exist. Like this should still be considered, you know, this is like, okay, this phase 4 is like when a comic book franchise, right, has a huge event, right? We do Crisis on Infinite Earths, or even let's say Infinite Crisis. And then in a year from now, you know, once that's done, that's been going for a year, right? Then we have an off year. And then the next year, there's going to be the next one, right? Blackest Night, right? And in between those two, you've got a year of stories that can't really do anything because they can't upset the status quo enough until the next one. So we're just kind of dealing with the ramifications of what happened in the big event. And maybe there's some slight hints at the upcoming event, but really we're not going to change too much because that event's already being planned. And if we fuck up the characters too much in their ongoing stories, then by the time we get to the event, it won't match where we are, right? And that's what this feels like. This feels like we're doing a lot of setup for future stories. Yeah. But to the detriment of our current story. Because right now, there's nothing. Like Thor Love and Thunder, the biggest impact, Thor. This is maybe I shouldn't say some of this stuff. I forgot we were not in spoilers anymore. Yeah. Crap, have I spoiled anything about Black Panther?
No, you haven't.
Okay. Well, I'll pull back a little bit. Because I forgot we're not in spoilers. Yeah. I think that's pretty much what I was trying to say. It was just, It just feels like just not, you know, like we're kind of in a holding phase until we can figure out where we're going. You know, we're going to release these because we need money, not because we're trying to drive the story further. We're just going to release them. And then once we know where we're going, we haven't done anything to really progress anything. And so, you know, we'll just kind of let these play out. And then once we know where we're going, we'll start injecting that into stories. Like with Quantumania, where they're like, oh, okay, well, we know what we're going to do now. We're going to do Kang. Yeah. So, you know, where else can we fit Kang in? Oh, how about Loki? Yeah. You know, like we'll hint towards it in Loki, right? And multiverse stuff. But Quantumania is really going to kick off, you know, it's going to be the thing that really leads to, you know, the next big thing. Kind of like how Thanos was in the first Guardians, right? Like that, like, I feel like that's Kang and Quantumania. But I really feel like they were just kind of trying to let these come out and not affect much. And because it doesn't feel like the story moved forward at all, it feels like it wasn't important. And which sucks because I really enjoyed a lot of these. I mean,
yeah, I did too.
I mean, you know, you look at the top of our list here. I mean, a lot of these were from this. I mean, we have Spider-Man No Way Home, Miss Marvel, Thor Love and Thunder, Shang-Chi, and Loki, and Multiverse of Madness, all in the top 12. Yeah. You know? The only one that was like bottom tier for us was, I mean, we had a couple, I guess, Black Widow and Moon Knight. You know, but I mean, Eternals, Hawkeye, Werewolf by Night. I mean, She-Hulk, for God's sakes. Like, I really liked them, but it just feels right now like it's not really going anywhere. You know, and I'm sure, you know, these will play up later and will matter. Yeah. I'm certain of that. But like, Iron Man, when you watched Iron Man, you knew it mattered while watching it. Yeah. You know, it didn't matter more in retrospect. Yeah. Iron Man 2, there were some things that mattered more in retrospect. But, you know, like, especially after like watching Winter Soldier and realizing, some of these people are Hydra. God, and Hydra just feels like a billion years ago at this point, you know? So, I mean, you know, but while you're watching Iron Man, you know, and you see like Nick Fury come out and stuff, like it mattered, you know, like in the moment it mattered.
Yeah.
And like just none of these, I mean, some of these just don't feel that way.
Well,
you know?
like if you think about, you know, Monica Rambeau and WandaVision and how she gets her powers. And then you see Miss Marvel and you know that Miss Marvel loves Captain Marvel. She's obsessed with her. And then at the end of Miss Marvel, well, can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're spoiling everything in the MCU except for Black Panther.
And at the end of Miss Marvel, her Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel switch places.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those little tidbits are going to help the Marvels movie.
Right. But is that more of the one-to-one impact as opposed to an overall impact?
It's not like really a spider web. It's more like a really complicated family tree.
Yeah. Like over here, we've got the Marvels. Over here, we've got the magic. Over here, we've got the space. And over here, we've got the political Captain America, Black Panther stuff.
Yeah. And it's just...
I don't like that. I mean, I know like the web is so big, you have to do that. But, you know.
Yeah.
I miss the
It's like one of those complicated, like, there's a question.
Yeah.
And if you answer yes or no, you go down this path. And then like it leads into more things. That's what's happened with Phase 4. Like, it's like, oh, this thing could be connected to this thing maybe. And like there's no flow to it.
Yeah. Well, like I was talking to somebody at work a couple weeks ago, and he was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to get to go watch Wakanda Forever. I'm so far behind. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, I haven't watched anything since Multiverse of Madness. So like I haven't watched Ms. Marvel. I haven't watched She-Hulk. I didn't even watch Moon Knight when it was on. I haven't watched Thor Love and Thunder. And I was like, yeah, I think you'll be okay though.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, with Marvel, you have to watch all the stuff or else you're going to be lost. And I was like, not with Phase 4. Like, I mean, it really doesn't like all those things I just listed have no impact on Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I would argue not many, like short of Wanda being in Multiverse of Madness. I think that's the only one that's like the most necessary.
That's the only one that stands out in my mind because of a coworker of mine. Because she said, I didn't get to watch WandaVision. My husband did. And I was like...
That one you're going to be lost on.
I was like, well, no wonder you didn't know what was going on.
Like, and like, I guess technically if you watched Hawkeye without watching Black Widow...
Yeah.
You could be a little lost there. But I mean, like, you're not going to be lost if you just turn on the Eternals.
No.
You're not going to be lost if you turn on Shang-Chi, Love and Thunder, Miss Marvel, Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, you know, none of these are really impacting each other, you know. I mean, even Val being in Falcon and Winter Soldier, like, that doesn't really matter, you know. So, I mean, I feel like we have more standalone stuff this phase than any. And, like, when you look at it, we're missing a lot of the big names. Like, I mean, yeah, we had Spider-Man, but, like, and we got Black Panther, and we got Doctor Strange. We didn't get a Guardians. We didn't get an Iron Man. We didn't get a Captain America. We didn't get an Ant-Man. We didn't get a Guardians. Did I say Guardians already? I think I said it twice.
Maybe.
You know, like, all the heavy hitters. I mean, we got Hulk, kind of.
Yeah.
And we got Captain America, kind of.
Yeah.
But again, those are Disney Plus shows. Like, you look at just the box office stuff. I mean, listen to these names, okay? These are just the names of the movies here. Black Widow, which one could argue big name or not, right? Shang-Chi, definitely not a huge name when it came out. Eternals, not a big name. Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Thor, and Black Panther. Like, they finally got 4,
the big ones, yeah.
But that is 4 within what I count last 16 projects. There was 4 of the big names that had movies, you know? And I mean, you could even argue Doctor Strange isn't a big name, you know? I mean, not really. I mean, he is to us, but like, you know, comparatively speaking, like Iron Man 3 brought in $1 billion, you know? Civil War was fucking huge as a Captain America movie. Yeah. And I mean, you know, Doctor Strange just had his one movie. Granted, Infinity War and Endgame, so I don't know. It just, I don't know. I guess I'm just going around in circles, but I'm just saying that this phase it really felt like they were in a holding pattern and trying to not mess anything up. too bad before they decided on what they were actually wanting to do, you know?
Yeah.
But I am excited for Phase 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll kick that off with Guardians Holiday Special.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so when we talk about Guardians, we will no longer be talking about Phase 4.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
And we probably won't have that big of a conversation about Phase 5 with Guardians. Like, probably Quantum Mania will be the first time we really dive deep into Phase 5. But yeah, it just sucks. Coming out of Phase 3, which was like the best of Marvel, and it was just banger after banger after banger, to come out with Phase 4 after that. And to start off super strong with WandaVision, but it felt like I don't know if it really got back to that cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like, I liked a lot of things more. I mean, I guess Spider-Man No Way Home obviously captured that. But like, and I loved Miss Marvel more, but I wouldn't say it set the world on fire like WandaVision did. Was that because they had a huge boner with Ralph Boner? Does that cause everybody to be less impactful? Maybe. A boner is what they also call mistakes. So that they had a boner.
Oh yeah, and also I think Ralph Boner really hurt you. So
I honestly think it left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. But I like it. I like what you're doing. That's it, everybody. That's gonna wrap it up for the show today. We hope you enjoyed this. Let us know. Am I way off base with my thoughts on Phase 4? Did you have any thought? I kind of talked a lot, and then I didn't give you a chance to really.
No, it's okay.
But you said what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
You feeling similar about Phase 4?
It's everywhere.
Yeah. And I feel like we peaked, and then like we had a couple of spikes with, Spider-Man, but then like it's just been pretty much downhill the whole time. Which sucks. I mean, Endgame was like the best, you know. Anyway.